Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with the Battle Report. So this is a game that took place the night before Buckeye battles began. This is my Empire Army versus Jerry Parsley's High Elves. Now Jerry and I are good friends. He's a clubmate. We drove halfway across the country to get to this tournament, and yeah, we're excited to play. He's got a really cool army. It's themed off of 300, so it's the Spartan High Elves, and you can see some of the conversions done is just absolutely beautiful. So 2,500 points. Let's get to it. So overall, the deployment looks like that. Starting on the right, he's got a bolt thrower on the hill, a unit of white lions, roughly 18. Next to that, he's got a unit of silver helms. I want to say there were 8 silver helms. There's noble battle standard bearer was in there, and then he's got a lord with a star lance. If he has anything else, I just don't know. That's what I remember, and that's really scary when he's got 4 attacks rerolling to hit, and then wounding on 2s, no armor saves. So against my demigryphs, against a unit of knights, if he gets the charge on me, that's kind of scary. Then he's got a unit of 50 spear elves. Next to that, he's got a small unit of archers with his level 4 Lord of Shadow, who has the Book of Asher. So he's +5 to cast and dispel. He's got, Occam's Mind Razor, which makes that unit of spear elves really scary. Now, against a unit of my knights, the spear elves are still pretty scary because there's so many attacks. Rerolling, I think he has, 40 attacks rerolling to hit. And even though he's only strength 3, he's going to get so many wounds through that I think he'll erase a unit. With Occam's, that thing obliterates anything on the board. And Jerry had a lot of success in the tournament doing just that. Next to them, he's got a unit of Phoenix Guard. I hope I have some close-up pictures in here because it's pretty cool. It's pretty much the Phoenix Guard models with head swaps. It looks very cool. He's got a Lord-level character. I think it's called the Sea Helm, and he's got the Reaver Bow. I remember that because he's shooting at me all game with it. Another unit of archers and a bolt thrower on the hill. Starting on the left, I've got Captuses. He's got a 1-up armor save with a 2+ ward versus fire. Unit of 4 demigryphs with a standard musician. A Hellblaster volley gun in front, a cannon in back. Somewhere close to both of them is a master engineer. I've got a unit of 39 halberdiers. The master engineer's in with them. I've got 2 5-man detachments in front of them. I've got a 10-man unit of archers in back with my 2 wizards. The wizard on the left is a level 4 Lord of Metal. The one on the right is a level 1 Lord of Heavens with a scroll. I've got the Hurricanum, a unit of Empire Knights. So it's 5, 9, 10, 12 strong, I believe. In there, I've got my Archlector with the Speculum and like the Biting Blade and whatever. He's got a 1-up armor save with the Speculum, and I've got my BSB with a 1-up rerollable. And then I've got 3 more demigryphs with a standard musician and another cannon. So in looking at the board, this is after High Elf movement number 1. Looking at the board, I don't know. I think if I could get I'd like to get my halberdiers up against his silver helms, or even against his white lions. I think they would do pretty well because I would do so many wounds to him. But I'm skeptical I'm going to be able to get that matchup. I don't mind my knights against his knights, and I don't know on the left. My demis versus his Phoenix Guard kind of scares me. I've played that in games in the past, and I can do okay, but things can also go south really quickly. So not really sure what I want to do, but I certainly want to use the the Lore of Metal spell, Final Transformation, to weaken his Phoenix Guard, maybe his Spear Elves, before any of that happens. And hopefully the Hellblaster volley gun would be great as well. So this is just OB being an idiot. So I deployed my knights before Jerry deployed his bolt throwers, and of course he just put his bolt throwers in both corners, so the one on my left has a flank shot in my knights, and I think that one killed like 4 or 5 of them. Just dumb. All I had to do was angle him a little bit. He takes all his archers and shoots at the Hellblaster volley gun. He does 2 wounds. He needs 6s to wound, but you get enough shots in there, and yeah, so that's kind of scary. I'm probably not. He didn't move up into the range of the Hellblaster on his turn 1, so this thing's probably gonna be dead before it ever shoots. So we go to Empire turn 1. I go up very aggressively on the left. It looks like my demis are really close to his Phoenix Guard, but I want to say that the distance between his archers and my demis isn't that bad, but I don't care if they charge me. The Phoenix Guard, I think he needs like a 10 to get there. I think there's an optical illusion going on with this picture. Otherwise, you can still he's still hanging out of range of the Hellblaster volley gun, just in case he doesn't kill it. I thought that was kind of funny. Um, yeah. Anyway, and then over here, that was my turn. Over here, got Captus. Now I made a big mistake here in that I forgot. At this point, we thought the tournament rules were that hills blocked line of sight, and I forgot about that. So I put Captus here, and all my opponent has to do is move his bolt thrower off the hill, and Captus cannot see the bolt thrower, nor can he see the archers. So that was just kind of dumb. I didn't need to put him there. I could have put him in a much better position. But that's just, I don't know if it's dumb. It's me forgetting that we were playing that rule. So I do get Final Trans off on his Phoenix Guard. I think it kills 5. Which is okay. I mean, I love, these guys have 4 boards. They're so hard to get rid of. I was really hoping this would to weaken him enough. I was hoping to do a few more wounds, but I'm not going to complain about getting 5. In so doing, I put a wound on my Hurricanum and on both of my wizards. So my level 1 Lord of Heavens is 1 miscast away from leaving this existence. My cannons open up on his Silver Helms. I kill a couple. So he starts off with 8. So he's down to 6 Silver Helms. 1's a champion. So he has 5 rank and file. So once I kill 1 more knight, I can start sniping his Lord level character. He's not his general, but his Lord level character as well as his Battle Standard Bearer. That black marker means that they are 1 worse armor save for the rest of the game. So we go to High Elf turn 2. Yeah, so he still stays back from the Hellblaster volley gun just in case he doesn't kill it. He doesn't want to risk anything there. Over on the left, yeah, he moves his bolt thrower off the hill. So Captus. Now I just have to go up on the hill and weather another turn of shooting. And he takes his mage out of the archers and puts him into the bunker. I'm not sure why. My guess is he was trying to get in range for a spell or something. But I'm not anxious to get into combat with that unit. The only reason I would be tempted to do it would be to try to pick off that spellcaster. Meanwhile, his bolt throwers are just tearing up my knights. I feel like there's just nothing I can do. He's just, at least now he doesn't have my flank. But yeah, I'm not really worried about that unit being available to help out in the game, but I don't want him to start being able to snipe my characters. And if you look at it, I only have 3 rank and file. Of course, my opponent doesn't really have templates, so but I am going to have to start distributing shooting. In his shooting phase, he also takes care of the last wound off my Hellblaster volley gun. And we go to Empire turn 2. Yeah, so one really bad thing happened here. Here I had I felt if I could get my BSB in general and those knights into Silver Helms, I might be okay. Mainly because he couldn't countercharge with his White Lions. I would have the charge, my guys are rerolling to hit, I'd do a bunch of wounds, he wouldn't be steadfast. I think we had a pretty good chance of doing some damage there. But they failed it. So I just backed up my Demigryph Knights to try to keep some kind of line. And over here, oh, this was just awful. I think my Demigryphs needed like a 7 to get to those archers. I don't want the Demigryphs in with those Phoenix Guard. I like the idea initially of getting Captus into the bolt thrower, Demis into the archers, and just kind of getting behind his lines and messing with them then. And they failed the charge. That means that the Phoenix Guard can countercharge. I, of course, can flee that and have a decent chance of getting away, but I usually prefer not to, especially in friendly games. I'm not against fleeing, I just would rather fight. Get Final Trans off on this unit. It was tough to decide who to go after. In hindsight, I probably should have kept on picking on the Phoenix Guard because their 4 board just makes them so nasty. But I went after these guys, maybe getting lucky, hoping to get lucky with his mage, and yeah, I peel off a rank and a half. I'm not sure how much it's going to matter. Yeah, so 1 cannon picks on these guys, and I don't do much. I kill a guy or 2, but now he's under 5 rank and file, and my 2nd cannon picks off his Lord level character. So now this unit isn't nearly as scary as it was before. I take that back. I forgot how I peeled off the 1 wound, but with 1 cannon I killed his Lord level character. With the other cannon I just blew myself up. That's right. So we got a High Elf turn 3. Phoenix Guard get the charge off on the Demis. I might be okay. I might not be okay, but the problem is it's my opponent's magic phase, and if he gets some buffs on there, I'm certainly going to be in trouble. Otherwise, everything is just as you can see. There's that. Yeah, that's just, yeah. And over here, I don't know if his White Lions just moved up aggressively or if he tried to charge. That unit of White Lions against 3 Demigryphs wins every time. And I'm just not sure how I can avoid it. There's no Hellblaster to deal with them. My magic isn't really equipped to deal with them. Yeah. After combat, yeah. One thing, my Demigryphs just totally fluffed their attacks, and or my opponent made us a ward save. So, Demigryphs live and die by being able to do wounds and then being able to shrug off wounds. Well, I think these guys have the Razor Standard, so they are. That means I'm making saves on a 3-up. And again, he just hits so many of them. He wounds enough, and I fail enough. Yeah, that's all it takes. So, Empire turn 3. Yeah, on the right-hand side, I really just back up my Demigryphs and my Generals unit because I don't want anything to do with those White Lions. And the Halberdiers, I'm not sure what I was thinking. Well, what I was thinking was I reformed him and moved him towards a Phoenix Guard because I like the idea of the Halberdiers against his Phoenix Guard. And then I move up my Archer detachment to redirect his Spear Elves. Yeah, well, we'll see how that works out. Over here, Captasis is finally able to make a charge, so he charges the Bolt Thrower. He easily beats it and overruns into the Archers. We go to High Elf turn 4, and I didn't take pictures at the beginning of the phase, but basically the Spear Elves charged the detachment, easily killed him, and decided just to reform. And Captasis is picking on these guys and winning combat, but he's steadfast on an 8 and is sticking around. So Empire turn 4. Yeah, so when he reformed his Phoenix Guard, I think he might have even reformed, did it swiftly, and then backed up a little bit. My Halberdiers are so far away from his Phoenix Guard that if I charged him and failed it, he could charge me in the rear with the Spear Elves and charge me in the front with the Phoenix Guard. So I decided instead just to reform and then scoot back over to the right, let him fail that long charge. I don't love the idea of my halberds against the Spear Elves because, again, he has so many attacks rerolling to hit. He's going to do so many wounds. Yeah, it's kind of scary. And over here, I decide I really can't. I'm going to go up one. Forgive me. Yeah, I decide I really can't avoid the White Lions any longer, so I charge the demis in there. There's no way I win that in the long run. I'm hoping just to tie them up long enough. The remaining cannon picks on this, and I kill his battle standard bearer, so there's only 2 Silver Helms left. And after combat, yeah, I kill some. He does a ton of wounds to me, and we all stick around. And Captasis can't get these guys below steadfast, but they're sticking around. We go to High Elf turn 5. Yeah, this I thought was a very nice subtle play in the middle. Basically, if I were him, I think I would have charged my Spear Elves into my Halberdiers because I just really think the Spear Elves tear them up. Instead, he backed up a little bit. He took his mage out of the unit, put it back in with the archers, because again, if he charged in, that's one thing I could do is kill the mage. And then he walked his Phoenix Guard up. So now my Halberdiers really can't escape the Phoenix Guard. I guess maybe unless I stand there and if he charges I can flee, but maybe not because he might have his White Lions and his 2 remaining Silver Helms left to charge me. So I thought this was a nice, patient play. Silver Helms charge right past my knights into the flank of the demis. Certainly he doesn't need them to beat the demis, but it does protect them. If I do stick in combat, it protects them from shooting. Bolt Thrower picks off yet another knight. So I've got my Archlector, my BSB, my Champion, and 1 knight left in that unit. And after combat, yeah, those demis didn't stand a chance, and he reforms. And over here, Captasis finally kills these guys down to a single man, and I forgot what he needed on his break test, but it wasn't very high, and he sticks it. Like, darn it. Darn it. Because if that guy had he broken, then Captasis is free for my turn, so I can reform and have him do whatever I need. So we go to Empire turn 5, and at this point, at the beginning of this turn, Jerry's up by quite a few points, and yeah, this just really took a turn. So remember, his level 4 is in with the archers. Well, I charge my Halberdiers and the Hurricanum into the front of the Spear Elves, and then I charge my remaining knights into the flank of the Spear Elves. If in this picture, this is after I rolled to, basically they were facing straight ahead. They could go straight ahead past those ruins and then wheel left and hit the flank of that unit. And Jerry he thought that it was going to be too much for him. And then so he decided to flee it. So he fled from the knights, like you see here. And then my halberds redirected into his archers unit. And that's tough because I think if I rolled a 10, I would get there. If I get there, I almost certainly win. I would overrun, and not only would I get the archers and the level 4, I would pick up all the points in the Spear Elves. So he decided to flee with his archers in level 4, and they bounced right through his Spear Elves and off the table. So a big point turn there. It ended up being a failed charge for my knights, which isn't a big deal because if he charges this White Lions, I just flee and I bounce through. It's going to be tough for him to get me. We go to High Elf turn 6 as Phoenix Guard charge into the flank of the halberds. His White Lions charge my general, I flee. So the problem here is my halberds are going to be steadfast, but I don't get general's leadership and I don't get a reroll because those guys are fleeing, and that's what I wasn't thinking about. So I'm basically, it's like we rolled the dice anyway, but part of me is thinking we don't need to roll the dice. Let's just see if I can stick on a steadfast 7. So there's that. Bolt thrower shoots and it kills one and then fails to kill the BSB, which I'm pretty sure he did single bolt right through that flank. He had a chance of picking up everything there, but he finally did get all the points for the unit. It's really just those 2 characters. And after combat, I stuck on a steadfast 7. We go to Empire turn 6. Captus charges the Spear Elves in the flank. He's going to be it's going to be the same thing. I don't think he can kill me. He'll be steadfast 8. Just let's see if you make it. The Halberdiers were not able to reform, so they're just going to sit there again. I'm not going to do any damage to the Spear Elves. He's not going to kill all of my guys. Now I'm on a 9 rerollable. I should stick. There's that. Captus is going in for the heroics. The cannon finally takes off that bolt thrower. Oh, that thing has been causing me grief all game long. And at the end of it, yeah, he does a bunch of wounds to my halberds. I stick on a 9 rerollable. Captus actually loses combat. So I had a charge in the flank. My opponent had a banner and 2 ranks. So I'm down by 1 going in, and I don't do any wounds. So I bounce, but he gets away, and the game ends like that. I mean, a real roller coaster ride of a game, and at the end of it, it was a draw. I forgot what scenario we were playing, but basically I think I was up a little bit in points, but Jerry got a few more scenario points, and at the end of it, it was almost exactly a draw. So, yeah, good try, Sparta. It didn't quite work out. Good try, Empire. It didn't quite work out. I could never get the matchups that I wanted against his elite infantry, the Phoenix Guard and the White Lions, and I felt they really just kind of ran roughshod over me, whatever they wanted. But failing, if I had got the demigryphs into the archers on the left, I think that would have really changed the dynamics of the game. But I guess you could always say stuff like that. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has a variety of functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like or comment on the video, you can favorite it, you can share it, and of course you can subscribe to the channel. And I encourage you to do any or all of those things as a way of interacting between viewer and producer. As always, I appreciate your patronage on the channel and wish you all the best.